Recipes for technical trading success in Cook's Kitchen.
What's been one of the biggest lessons of this bull market for the past 9 months, or the past 9 years nearly for that matter, is that if you're not long growth, you're doing it wrong. And that was sort of the message this morning from Keith McCullough of Hedgeye, and it's something I've been talking about for a while. I wrote a piece this week called The Secret Meaning of FANG. As most investors know, FANG stands for Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. It was an acronym created by my friend Bob Lang, who does technical analysis for Jim Cramer's Mad Money. And, you know, at the time, it was a handy moniker to remember the hot tech momentum stocks that you had to be on top of if you were any kind of trader. But lately, there's been a backlash. I wrote a piece this week. I actually, take a look at my screen here, I did a podcast going more in depth on the secret meaning of FANG. And so you can find that podcast on iTunes or wherever. But I'm addressing the backlash. What's the backlash? The backlash is that many investors talk about this rally that they don't know how it's sustained itself to make new highs, S&P 2500 or the NASDAQ launching, and they say, that's just, the rally's just being led by the FANG stocks. And I think really what they mean is they missed the money train. So they're not long Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, or maybe not long at least two of them. And so they feel that pain, that twinge of regret and remorse for not doing it right. So in my podcast, I sort of expand on that, and I talk about exponential technologies and why these companies make the difference. And I also reference the article I wrote over the weekend, 5 Secrets of the Bull Market. And what I'm trying to expand on there is the idea that, what drives this bull market, right? Well, obviously low interest rates and a steady GDP. So we hover around 2%, never get too hot, too cold, no boom, no bust. It's not driven by industrials or real estate. And tech growth is global. So that's why if GDP increases a little bit and we do get near 3%, that just lights a lot of fires globally in technology. And so you see it in companies like Amazon and Google especially. Let's take a look at some charts about investors who missed Amazon or Google. So here is, let me expand this a little bit. So here's the behemoth Amazon, reinventing retail left and right. And, after the race to 1,000, it's pulled back a little bit. I mean, geez, it's right there still. But even 6 months ago, you could have bought Amazon, near $850. And the reason I pound the table about this is because in June of last year, June of 2016, I said you have to buy Amazon and Google under $750 a share, because if you're a long-term investor, not as a trade, but just buy them under $750 and put them away, because they will own the future or be involved very intensely in the future of anything to do with artificial intelligence, robotics, big data, and I think that's proving itself. But it's, this is a decade-long story for both Amazon and Google, and even Facebook a little bit. So in my podcast yesterday, I questioned myself even, is Facebook exponential technology? And in a way it is, because even though they built this advertising revenue model, they are using it, they're leveraging communication, and they're also going to be involved in education and new types of e-commerce that we haven't even seen yet with, augmented reality. So where's Google here? Let's take a look at GOOGL. So same kind of thing here. Look at, at the beginning of the year. So yeah, you could have bought Google 6 months ago, still at $850. Makes the run to 1,000. At the beginning of the year, I had a bet with a fellow investor who would get to $1,000 first, Amazon or Google. And I said Amazon, got that one right, but it's a close race, and they stick together like crazy. So the meaning of FANG, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it is about transformative technology, that transforms the economy. That's why I challenge people who dismiss FANG. It's like, no, at least 3 of those companies, Facebook, Amazon, and Google, are extremely transformative and will continue to be so. So to say that this is just a momentum fad is just silly. And that's why large investors continue to accumulate these stocks. And I leave out Netflix because, I was going to say, I don't understand the Netflix business model, but it's simple to understand. It's just, I don't know if I buy into that success and if they can sustain what they're doing. Obviously, customers love it, and so they can go out and spend to make that. But I'm replacing the N in FANG for myself with NVIDIA. So let's take a look at NVIDIA as a must-own technology stock because of what they're doing with artificial intelligence chips and parallel processing. Whether it's for IBM or gamers or the new cryptocurrency mining machines. So those are my FANGs. Now let's talk about the $200 club. My $200 club starts off with Facebook. I say Facebook is going to $200. It might take another year for Facebook to get to $200, but that's a bet I'm willing to stay long with because I believe it's going to happen because they're going to continue to innovate, grow the advertising revenue, and create other types of revenue. Who's next in my $200 club? Align. Align Technologies, they make the clear dental teeth straighteners, right? The Invisalign brand. And we've owned this since 133 down here from my Healthcare Innovators portfolio. And just a beautiful chart, just keeps on going. It's leading the race right now to 200 in the $200 club. And so that's Align. Let's check in with member number 3, Alibaba. I've owned this for a while, sort of for the same reasons that you would own Amazon or Facebook. There was a time where if you couldn't buy Amazon or Google at $800, I said buy Facebook and Alibaba, and you get the same thing. Baba is the Amazon of China, and in so many ways is copying the success of Amazon in China. And Facebook is a heavy advertising model like Google, but also learning to use big data in new ways. So these were your $100 Amazons and Googles a year ago, and now they're on their way. They're trading 175 on their way to 200 in the next 6 to 12 months, I believe. So there's Baba, continues to make new highs. Another new high today, above 178. I love this stock. And I've talked about it, for many reasons. All right, the last member of my $200 club is Lam Research. My chip company instead of, I don't own NVIDIA, so I own Lam Research instead. NVIDIA is so hard to touch. If you don't buy NVIDIA, when it comes down to 140 and 155, you're doing it wrong. I did it wrong. And now we chase it up at 170. So here's Lam Research. They're sort of the arms dealer for chip makers. They make the wafer fabrication equipment, among other things. So here are all these stocks in the race to 200. Now, in closing, I could have come up with a cool acronym for my $200 club. Let's see, Facebook, Alibaba, Align, and Lam Research. That would be fail. I don't like that one. What if I go Facebook, Align, Baba, L, Fable? I don't like that one either. So no acronyms are going to work for my $200 club. We're just sticking with the $200 club. All right, thanks for joining me.